Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today it's time for another episode of Oxygen Not Included here in the Ultimate Base 4.0. In the previous episode we have taken care of building a proper living module for our secondary planetoids. I'm still kind of in the wrapping up phase, but we shall activate it today. Before I do that though, I have to fix an issue. I had to add water to this room a couple of times because over time when I produce too much inside the metal refinery, the room just gets overheated. What happens then? The dupes come in order to fix some of the stuff and then most of the steam manages to escape. It's only about 2 kilograms per tile every time they open the door, but it's still enough over time to drain it of enough steam so that the thermal aqua tuner manages to completely overheat and also melt. The previous time it happened, I reloaded the game and made sure to add a little bit of water by adding it gently to the room and disallowing the metal refinery from doing anything just for a brief period. I managed to get everything under control, so we're now down to 200 degrees, but it was like at 500 at some point. So I kind of want to fix that now by making the aqua tuner way more efficient and also the cooling loop here. We just need to exchange it with supercoolant. So what I did here is just install a pumping system that is going to allow me to add some of the supercoolant to the system. And I think before we do that, we are just completely going to drain the loop right now. If I add a chute here, oh, I can also add it on this side. This might be better. So the water will just go ahead and dribble down here into our storage. There it is. Thank you very much, Nispet. And now we're just going to completely drain the loop. Looks like that's gonna work. Something else we definitely should exchange as well is the coolant that we're using for the metal refinery right now. I'm kind of thinking if we add a bridge right here, then it will just go ahead and drop right down into our petroleum pool. So that is definitely worth a try. Let's maybe not do it with steel, just craft a couple of iron ore pieces to get rid of that petroleum. Actually, are we able to eject it? Not really. However, we might temporarily be able to connect this and then it's just gonna flow over. Okay, now we can maybe even cut this off and make this all drop. It's gonna be a little bit hot, but I think we're fine. In the meantime, we're draining the rest of the loop. It's almost done. Okay, I feel like now we're ready to add the liquid here. We want some supercoolant, enable auto bottle. Actually, that's not even necessary. We're just gonna drop it in here. I cannot really move the entire thing because it's too much liquid. So we're just gonna add it one bottle after another. And there it is. The loop is being filled up with the supercoolant. Oh, I'm so glad. This is going to make everything so much more efficient and then my steam turbine will finally be able to keep up. So I'm going to set this to 25 degrees again. Should be fine. And this guy is still at minus 30. Okay, now hold the phone. The turbine is too hot. Yeah, of course. The coolant isn't going through anymore, but this will change in just a brief moment. You know, I'm kind of thinking this is a little bit unnecessary the way I do this. Maybe I'm just gonna go straight through here. Yeah. Right now, yeah, let's just avoid this guy. There it is. And the steam turbine can go for it again. Okay, I'm just gonna allow this to fill up completely and then some. Also, since I have this connected with a heavy watt conductive plate and it is also connected this way, I think we can keep up with the chill. Yeah, this should totally be okay. So I'm also gonna be connecting this instead of that and we can get rid of the portion here. And you know what? While we're at it, we're also gonna make this all aluminium now because we can, right? This is why we activated the aluminium volcano, so we can go nuts. Everything aluminium. Ooh, I don't even know how much this is gonna take. We are now down. Ooh, it's still 60,000. Never mind. Actually, right here, these pipes, they should be insulated because they're leaving the base. And then keep going with aluminium pipes. These ones here on the top as well. And now that we completed it, we can actually get rid of these guys. Oh, let's keep that connected for a moment. But this should basically go. And then instead we're gonna have a bridge going over there. So eventually the pipe on the top can go as well. You know, just cleaning things up a little bit. Okay, now I believe we can just deconstruct the metal refinery and we'll be getting the petroleum back inside. And then we also have to remove the liquid from these 4 pipes. We're losing steam again. We're down to 37 kilograms. Not bad. Wonderful. There's my petroleum. This already worked out. Gonna put back the metal refinery. And technically we shouldn't need to enter this room anymore. I'm gonna lock it and I'm gonna make sure that we have the right stuff going on. This bridge needs to go, and then this connection right here also needs to go. Okay, and then we can fill this up with a little bit of supercoolant, but I guess the cooling loop is a little bit more important right now. In the meantime, we should probably get May to take on her new quest. Actually, thinking about it, May could help out finishing the module, and then we could also build a petroleum boiler because we're gonna need that very soon, and we also have a lot of oil already queued up. I'm kind of hesitant to put that all in the oil refinery because we can get so much more just with the petroleum boiler. Yeah, that's actually worth thinking about if you ask me. By the way, the radiation vomiting comes from Gossman. He is actually fine just hanging out inside the rocket. He's always hovering a little bit below the danger zone here. I just every now and then have to make sure that I mop up this stuff. He can still stay here for a couple of cycles, but then I need to make space within one of my rocket silos for him to take a little break. Okay, so it almost happened again, but this time I caught it. All of the water got converted, or the steam got converted into water. This of course left the aqua tuner not submerged. So what I did is I temporarily shut it off. Now I'm gonna turn it on again, but I also added a atmos sensor. So if this atmos sensor doesn't detect anything above 1,000 grams, then it will be sent to this AND gate, and only if both conditions are true, the aqua tuner is gonna turn on. This way I prevent the aqua tuner from actually melting once again. So now all I have to do is a little bit of smelting, and every time the supercoolant goes through here, once I heated it up a little bit above the 200 degrees, then it will evaporate the water again and the thermal aqua tuner can go. So this is just going to take a brief moment, but we do have the spare time. The base looks cozy with the right temperatures. Slowly but surely it's time to bring back Gossman here. He's had his fair share of a trip. We have to get things started by first sending May back to the main planetoid. She can do that right now. And we're gonna leave Ari to his own devices. May is then gonna use our colonizer rocket to build some more infrastructure on the water planetoid. Let's have a look inside. We do have the refrigerator filled up, and I did not actually bring the gold, just a little bit. But this is no problem, we can send over all the materials that we want right here with this system. So I'm not going to worry too much, but since I know I'm going to be requiring a lot of gold, I think it might be worth setting this to the highest priority, maybe even just forcing a bunch of duplicants to bring all that gold over, so we can then take off with May. Yeah, look at that. All the gold is just mine. Thank you very much. Already 10 tons. That should give us a decent start. Actually, thinking about it, we should just take more materials with us, such as igneous rock. That would be great. Yeah, maybe I'm just gonna give this a cycle for the duplicants to fill up. It will spare us a lot of rat bolts if we already take some materials with us. Ari, in the meantime, is gonna finish this, and I'm also gonna open this up in order to connect the main cable so we can get this started. But I'm gonna have to transfer over a little bit more supercoolant and other stuff. Ready or not, let's set the destination over here to the water planetoid, and we're gonna book it. May, good luck. I hope you enjoy your ride. Let's have a quick look inside. We want to enable the atmosuit checkpoint, unequip that suit, and deliver a second one over there. Wonderful. Now I think in a second part I want to focus on finishing the planetoid here a little bit with the surface. But first things first, let's connect the cabling here and maybe also finish this part so we can get in and out of the base. That means we will be able to close this off. Maybe already start to fill it with a bunch of oxygen. Now wait a second. Gossman, you need to equip the atmosuit right now. There you go. He's not feeling very good. However, we landed the driller successfully, and now we can just go ahead and empty out everything right here. Yeah, he's not extremely quick, I gotta say. What's your athletics right now? -9. Holy cow. Okay, well, take your time. I flooded my base a little bit with the supercoolant, but I think I want to take this opportunity to exchange the water we have here on the floor. Look at that. Devin right here is good at decorating, and he's also got a little boost in medicine. I think this one could be the artist and doctor that we're missing. Binge eater, yeah, we gotta keep Devin happy, but let's go ahead and print them. Before I forget, Gossman's got another point. I'm gonna spend that directly towards rocketry. Devin, on the other side, I think I'm just gonna wait for a couple of skill points, at least 3, so we can put it right into Masterworks. In the meantime, he's just gonna help around the base. Let's schedule him up. Let me actually put May into the special schedule here, and I'm also gonna put Devin into this one. No, actually, let's put him into, let me see, schedule 2, right there. So we have 3 people in this one. Oh, actually looking at this, Meep is the only one in this shift. So let's put Devin here as well. In terms of priorities, Devin needs the same priorities as Lyra. No, wait, what am I talking about? Devin is the doctor and artist. Where do we have that? Decorating. He's gonna help out with tidying, maybe operating sometimes. He could also help with farming and maybe actually ranching, because after a while, or maybe at all, he doesn't really have anything to do. Yeah, it's just gonna help around. We could even maybe maybe engage him in some cooking. I don't really know. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Let's just leave it at that. We're gonna take 2.3 cycles to reach our destination here. So let's focus on the second planetoid and the project here on the top. I want to say we're gonna get things started with a payload opener, and I want to put this guy right here so it lines up with the room. Right next to it, we're gonna have our targeting beacon. Let's put that here. And then I've been thinking one thing we're missing for the cooling loop is a way to store the coolant. We could maybe do this here at the very top. Let me just have that right next to the contraption there. And so instead, I first want to bring this all the way up and then all the way down to here. And we're actually going to be using this cooling loop for much more cooling on the top. So it's not supposed to go over, but we do something like that. And then again, instead of actually going down, we'll first be going up and do some cooling. Now I'm gonna get some tiles in place, maybe starting off this point, so we can mine up everything that potentially falls down. The mining we do with robo miners, of course, we can build them out of any materials because we'll be, again, cooling them down. And you can see this just reaches the very bottom, so this is perfect. And what I want to end up with is a tile right here. So if I manage to aim this correctly, then we can see any debris falling on the next mesh tiles will be mined up by the robo miner as well. And then we should be able to just daisy chain this, and this is 8 tiles in between. So if I manage to do this right, 8 tiles, do that, 8 tiles, yeah, easy peasy. And then this would be the last one. So there is one tile probably not accounted for. Well, let's see. We're gonna place all the robo miners now. It's gonna be a whole bunch, and I will definitely have to send over more gold. Then if we're lucky, we can just continue with the solar panels. I cannot get another one in there. I think I want to line them up from this point so that I have just enough space to actually make my way up. Well, this is not enough space. I want it right here, and this is actually gonna allow me to have another ladder going up there. So this is how I want my solar panels to be. And if it lines up right here, that will be great. Otherwise, we'll have to move them. Next up, I'm gonna need some auto sweepers. I would like to have this guy maybe here, so it can cover this portion, the top portion of the next mesh tiles. Yeah, as a matter of fact, this is the perfect spot. What did I build this out of? Aluminium? No, thank you. We're gonna build this out of gold. So each of these robo miners is also gonna require an auto sweeper. It's not an inexpensive project, but you know, we have tons and tons of gold, really nothing to worry about. Next up, we're gonna need conveyor loaders, of course, in order to ship the mined material to its destination. And then of course also a whole bunch of conveyor rails. I want them to go down inside of the solar panel so the oxalite that we get from this planetoid isn't gonna be destroyed. Well, it will lose a little bit on the way down here, but I'm not too worried about maximum efficiency with this. It's gonna be way more than enough oxalite. So I'm gonna bring this all the way over, and then we probably just want to line up with this guy. My duplicant will then bring the oxalite into the storage. We could also make it a conveyor receptacle, but we can only store 100 kilograms. I'd rather have 20 tons of oxalite storage, to be honest. Okay, very good. This is looking snazzy. There's one conveyor loader missing, and then I think we need to put this auto sweeper a little bit further down so that we can still reach the top portion, but also the bottom. So yeah, let's just do it far enough down here. Good. This means my cooling loop is supposed to go through all of these machines and cool them down. We're gonna get started with the auto sweeper. Let me move in here through a radiant pipe and then up there. Now, maybe we first place the conduction panels. Now, these ones we can build out of aluminium. I can have them right here and then move over to this guy. Okay, this might actually already work out, and then move below to the next one and so on and so forth. And we can even easily do the auto sweepers. Yeah, I'm actually gonna do this in bulk. So first the robo miners going up, then the conveyor loaders going down, and finally the auto sweepers going to the right. Now I'm missing even the aluminium. That's all fine. We're gonna do the piping now with igneous rock, and we should be able to do it quite easily. So starting from the liquid reservoir, we're not going to be needing this anymore. We'll be coming from the other side, but we first go up and then over through all of the conduction panels. Very easy, just like this. It's gonna be a pain in the butt to build, but you know, Ari doesn't really have anything better to do. Oh geez, it's gonna take so many materials, but here we go. We can now make our way back through the solar panels all the way back into the loop. I think I'm gonna come down here at the ladder part, and then we just hop over with a bridge. Good. Now I'm assuming we're also missing a lot of the cabling. It will be going... Oh, actually we already have a lot of it in place, but let's just keep moving through the solar panels, and all of this needs to be supplied with proper power. I'm gonna do it here in the center with the auto sweeper, and then spreading out to the other two machines. Now we might want to do this with various materials, or I'm just gonna stick to the iron ore. We should still have plenty of that hanging about on the main planetoid. Okay, pretty good. We can use the solar panels to actually be able to build everything, like as a platform, but we also need to send over a whole bunch more materials. Now that I will have a new beacon, I probably need to move the targeting beacon. Actually, let me wait for this to be built first. Okay, lots to do, lots to ship over. I think I'm gonna be making some more progress, and once I arrive over here, what I'm gonna be doing is just finding a proper setup in order to advance here. I will probably be doing some mining first, and then setting up a system to ship over whatever liquids I'm getting, so the next time I will be able to use the liquid rocket. Okay, it is a little bit later, and I decided to fill up the toilet loop a little bit differently this time around. I installed a liquid pump right here, and I just allowed Ari to make a whole bunch of messes. This wasn't really intentional, but I figured now that I have all of these polluted water bottles, I can just bring them right here and feed them into the system. So why don't we go ahead and add all the polluted water to this? It should then be transported over into the system and directly be filtered out. In the meantime, on the water planetoid, I'm making some progress here in terms of getting rid of the entirety of the terrain, and I also had my first overpressure issues. For testing purposes, I added an airflow tile, and it looks like they do not really suffer the same issues right now. So maybe we can still use the trick with the airflow tiles. Maybe just to be sure, we're gonna add yet another one right here, where the pressure is supposed to be a lot higher. Now the hotel, of course, is gonna be really big, and it's gonna be probably using most of the space here. If we include the petting zoo on this planetoid, then it's gonna be even crazier. We still have plenty of air, so we're gonna be spending some more time here with May. Let's check out the second planetoid again. Is Ari making some progress? I sure hope so. I installed this transit tube all the way down for easy access to all the materials that are on the floor there. And we have some more polluted water for our bathroom loop. Well done, well done. There's even a little bit of vomit now inside of the suit. This is perfect. More polluted water for us. By the way, there's also a little bit of oxalite here from the last meteor shower that I was able to pick up and get things started. There it is, finally, the precious liquid gold. It's gonna be so better to not have to soil the suit any longer. Okay, my first water is inside the water sieve. Maybe let's also fill this up with filtration medium. Now, let me set this to priority 7. We do have a little bit of something to store. Oh, looks like we have a little bit of regolith, but not too much on this planetoid. I will have to send some over, or maybe use the rock crusher to make some sand. Wait a second, where did this go? Oh no, don't tell me it went... No, it went into the carbon skimmer. That's not where I want it to go. But it still shouldn't be a waste. We just need more CO2. Of course, the levels right here are always going to be CO2, but that is fine. The problem is just I really wanted it to go upstairs first. What an absolute shame. But it's not really a huge issue. We can take this pitcher pump and this pool of water to achieve exactly the same thing. So we're also just going to check the water instead of just the polluted water. There it is, my bottle of water, and this should already be enough, to be honest. I just needed a little bit to fill this up. Perfect. Now we can connect it again. Wait a second, that's the wrong one. I wanted to connect it here. Perfect. And now as soon as we filled this up, the rest should also go into the plant. Wait a second, I need to make sure this is running into the right direction. This should all go into the plant, and then the overflow of the water sieve should also go into the plant. So we do something like this, and then that will be guaranteed. Oh no, what are you guys doing? Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let me try to clean things up a little bit. I knew this was gonna bite me in the butt. I guess it would be better to have a dedicated storage for the supercoolant, maybe down here or so. I think I'm gonna be doing that, but didn't think I would have to pump out supercoolant out of my base. In the meantime, on the water planetoid, I'm just gonna keep going until all the terrain is gone, and then we're gonna try to set up something before actually making our way back again. Alrighty, we are back. It is a couple of cycles later, and as promised, I built a storage for my supercoolant. I decided to go with the area down here. As a matter of fact, I might even make it a little bit higher to match this area, but for now that is fine. I started to pump things out and the rest I was able to mop up, and in order to get this out of the way, I built a pitcher pump in place of the molecular forge. So the supercoolant in the future will have its place here, and I'm also going to be filling up all the liquid reservoirs. Then I built another something right here. I will call this the temperature equalizer, and basically this operation got summoned into play because I wanted to save a little bit on my plastic material. We have unlimited quantities of metals, so I decided to just go for a huge heatsink, and this is just gonna equalize the temperatures of all the items that are going through here, in particularly everything from the aluminium volcano. Same thing here with the gold volcano, but I also intend to put this conveyor loader a little bit further up so that the hot items that are input there are also going to be sharing the temperatures. I'm not going to be actively cooling down this area. This is just going to be heated up as far as it wants to, but it's just going to make sure that all the items that travel through come with a similar temperature. So what I would like to see maybe is a conveyor rail. Now let me think, how did I set this up? This is coming over here, but instead I think I want it to go up. And I'm going to be doing the same thing with items coming from the bottom. Now, how do we access this? Probably down here. No, honestly, I don't really like this. Yeah, I think with the gold will be okay to just go straight through. We don't need to utilize a lot of real estate, but I really would like to see a more convenient way to dump my hot items. Yeah, honestly, over here is probably good enough, and we can make it go through some insulated tiles. So just have a bridge right here, and then we're going up. And I want to go up right here so I can even still build it and then just join with this guy. This means right here we can have a conveyor loader, something along these lines, bring this down. There's already a little bit of power that we can access, but even better, we should also be able to easily cool it down like so. Just have a little detour. This is flowing in this direction. And then I probably want to make sure to build this really quickly so we can divert the cooling loop. We're still making progress on the water planetoid. As a matter of fact, I ran out of things to do. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish the digging part, and then we set up a pump of some sorts. Let me see, where's my oxygen? Yeah, we still have more than half left. And then on the second planetoid here, where we have the new base set up, we are also slowly getting some more things done. Let me open up this part here so we can get rid of the carbon dioxide, and then maybe even add, yeah, actually let me get rid of this guy. And this is gonna allow me to add the water right there. No, forget about the bottle emptier. We're just gonna vacuum this out and then add the water through the steam turbine. We also still need to send over some supercoolant, so it's time to bring this all the way over, and then we want to go all the way up as well in order to get things into our launcher system. Looking at everything, I think we need to make things a little bit simpler here on the top. For instance, we could hop over here. Actually, this is going up. Yeah, geez, I need to figure out something better. I guess for now, what we could do is pick things up with the pitcher pump, because each delivery is also one payload that we can send over. That actually makes a lot of sense. So really, all we need is a little area. For instance, right here, because we have the space for it, we can set up a liquid pump there. And then all we have to do is bring this all the way up. I'm not going to do it very strategically right now, because at some point we need to redo the piping there either way. But yeah, this way I can bring exactly 200 kilograms of supercoolant here, and it will be delivered right away to the second planetoid. Ooh, actually both of these are set to the third planetoid. This one should go to the second one. Ooh, actually, what am I doing? We can just teleport the liquid over. So I guess it would make sense to also bring this down, but right now I cannot be bothered. We have this system here in place. It is powerful, and I can totally afford to send things over to the second planetoid, even if we have the teleporters. There it is. My conveyor loader is in place. It's gonna replace this guy here. Let's copy the settings. And just if you forgot, we're collecting the regolith in this place. We're also collecting the steel, should I ever sweep it up, and the obsidian. So everything that comes in really hot, we could actually attempt the abyssalite as well, but I'm not even sure if they interact with tiles. They did not interact with the steam in any convincing capacity. With all of these changes out of the way, I think I'm gonna wrap it up for today's episode. I'm probably way over time this time, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Have a great time, and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.